Facebook, YouTube, and geo-targeted marketing programs are all designed to make your cash register ring. To get started, call your Miller Media account manager or go to mmgdigitalnow.com. Miller Media Digital, where digital becomes local.
Here are the contest rules for WHOW and WEZC Radio. We allow only one winner of any prize from either station per household in a 30-day period. Prizes can be picked up by the winner at our studios inside the Big Red Barn, 4 miles south of Clinton on U.S. Highway 51 within 2 weeks of winning. Our office hours are weekdays from 8 till 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Employees of WHOW, WEZC, and their families are not allowed to participate in our contests. Thanks for participating and for listening to WHOW and WEZC.
Serve Pro of Piatt DeWitt Counties for fire and water restoration, reconstruction, and now duct cleaning to keep your air healthy. Find out how they can help you by clicking their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Netflix buffering, YouTube spinning, devices not connecting, Zoom calls dropping. It's frustrating. Let's end your frustration by signing up for fiber internet in Clinton. Click the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
You're right in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio, Rennie Cluver, Executive Director of the Clinton Y. Good morning, Rennie.
Good morning.
Good to see you as always. Thanks for making time for us. And I can't believe we are at the place where Camp Osage is going to be kicking off in a few short weeks. Just a few short weeks. Are we ready for Camp Osage?
I think we are. I think Melinda Akers, our youth program director and adult sport program director, she's taken over the reins this year, and she is a go-getter and already has the camp staff, I think, had a meeting again this weekend, and they had one a couple weekends before. She's got all staff ready, and I think they're ready to get it and run with it.
I get, it feels like just 3 weeks ago we were kind of trudging through, March and April, and just dreaming about Camp Osage, and now it's here. Now let's remind folks, Rennie, of course, Camp Osage. What is Camp Osage? What's it all about?
Camp Osage is our summer day camp that is really just, it's like Y Zone. Y Zone is before and after school. Well, camp is just a bigger version of Y Zone, and it's much more hands-on activities. I mean, they can plan things outside, inside, swimming. They've got field trips planned. It's just for a lot of parents, it's a great place to send their kids for childcare, but also a great place for the social aspect, keeping them active, getting them away from technology that they're inundated with every day. And so I know back in the day, our slogan was, we'll bring them home tired, hungry, and dirty. And that's very much still can be the case, but we also have broadened camp to where it can fit a wide range of kids and their personalities. It's not like you have to go out and be outside all day in the heat. If you don't like to do that, there's other options for you. Camp staff is very accommodating, wanting kids to try different things and be active as a group, but also understanding that there's some that would just like to sit underneath that shade tree and read a book, which is perfectly fine.
Sure. Well, okay. So Camp Osage, is it too soon to register? Can we get signed up for that yet?
No. And that's the nice thing about camp, just like it is with Y Zone. You can sign up for camp anytime you want through the summer. I mean, we've already got a lot of parents that have signed up their kids. I mean, camp starts June 2nd, which is coming right up. But if you're not signed up, we really don't have a limit of kids that we can take. We haven't got to that part of our camp where we'd have to shut it off, which we normally would just hire more staff if that was a problem.
Okay. Yeah. And I know that's really, for camp, that's really a benefit, that we've talked about for many years, is the fact that, you don't have to cap your registration and those sorts of things.
Yes. And I would I guess it would be a good problem to have if you knew you only had 100 spots or 125 spots and it was already filled up. But we like that flexibility for parents. And so you can sign up whenever if you haven't, but you just have to have them register. There's a $25 non-refundable registration fee.
Okay.
And once you get them signed up, then they're good to go to camp.
Sure. Well, let's talk. You mentioned Melinda Akers has led camp now for a couple of years. What do the days look like? What are they doing at Camp Osage?
Well, I would have brought Melinda. She's just busy today because maybe we can have her come in next month when they've already had a couple weeks of camp, and she can kind of explain more of how camp has been going and what they've got planned for the rest of the summer. I have sat down with her and just got some feedback on some things that they've planned. I think I believe it's every Friday is a field trip day that is planned. And so if it's going to a water park, or they have they actually, which I think is really neat, because when we talk about Camp Osage, we also have our Monticello Y Zone summer camp that is hosted in Monticello. And Caitlin does a great job. Caitlin and Josie will be working that camp again. And they're actually going to do some collaboration together with the camp, both camps, which will really be neat to see.
Okay.
That'll be a big group of kids, because Monticello has a lot of kids too. And
do they really?
Yeah.
Great.
Yep, it's a great camp, and same thing. I mean, it provides the community and parents in that community with access to childcare that is a need.
Did you say when Camp Osage begins?
June 2nd.
June 2nd. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So get signed up now. And I know they mix in, I was talking to Melinda a few weeks ago, recording her ad to promote the Camp Osage on sports and everything. And was kind of getting with her on, what are you doing this year? What do you got planned? And it sounds like, several times a week, they've got a fun either field trip, or they've got a fun activity. They're doing something. Like, it's not always just go out to Weldon Springs and run around, or hang out at the Y and run around. Like, they're going places and doing things with the kids, it sounds like.
Yes. And I think that's not only is that good for the campers, but it's also good for the staff. You want to keep things fresh and different things, activities, because then the staff, I think, are more involved, and you don't get stuck in that rut of a routine where, this is what we got to do. But there is some routine that is nice to have, just because of the schedule of the Y, times that they're going to be swimming. And I know they kind of divide that up amongst age groups. And so certain days it'll be K through 2 will be swimming, and then it's third grade on up. And of course, weather dependent on things that you can do outside, and different parks that they'll be going to that Melinda has scheduled. And Savannah Clifton's going to be helping Melinda, kind of her second in charge. And Savannah's worked camp for many years as just a camp counselor. She knows the ins and outs of it. And I'm just really excited with.
Is she on staff for you now then?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I'm really excited with the staff that we have. It's always helpful when you have a lot of staff coming back, because they know what to expect, and for them to want to come back, that's also very helpful, because they know what camp is about, and you have to like to be around kids. And so they're coming back, and they're coming back because they enjoy it. Right.
Well, and Savannah knows the community and probably a lot of the families and all of that. So that's great. Good stuff. So let's, again, Rennie Cluver, Executive Director of the Clinton YMCA, in studio with us. We talked the kickoff of Camp Osage. So do you have to send your child all 5 days if they sign up? Like what are some of your requirements of the kids and their attendance? Those sorts of things. What's the cost? Is it going to cost per day? Is there a cost per week? How does some of that break down?
Good question, Seth, because we have there's a lot of Ys, not just Ys, but other organizations in the childcare world that require you to pay a certain amount. Like, you send you're paying for your spot, and it's 5 days a week, whether you use it or not, you're paying, and each week it's X amount of dollars. I'm glad that we haven't had to get to that point, because again, going back to the flexibility of it. So it's just like Y Zone, you register your child, and when you send them, we mark their attendance. And at the end of the week, that attendance goes into our computer, and you'll be charged with the number of days that you sent your child.
Gotcha. So when it comes to the attendant, or that kind of capping piece, What do you attribute that to? Is it a tribute to just we're a small town Y, so the demand for the Y program isn't as great as other areas? Do you have maybe more staff and volunteers? Maybe not volunteers, but do you have more staff than otherwise? What do you attribute that to?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of, there's multiple reasons. I mean, like for us, being a smaller Y, we know that it's not going to get more than 125 kids typically.
Right.
And so we've got enough staff to cover that if we needed to.
Gotcha.
So I think that's helpful. Other communities, bigger communities, they've only got, so, I mean, you talk about transportation. I mean, we're lucky to be able to put them on one bus, and sometimes that gets tough. And so I could imagine a community that had 200 campers, and you're trying to haul those around to do field trips. So that's part of the benefit of being a smaller community Y and having that flexibility. I mean, as far as, it would be much easier for us to budget if you had that consistent where, hey, we've got 100 campers and we know each week we're charging this. For us, we have some weeks that are really good and then some weeks that are not as good, just based on when parents need it.
Right.
But over the years, we've really been able to, we kind of figure those days and know when those days are going to happen. I can't remember which day it is this summer that it will be the movie here in town, the kids movie series.
I think they do those on Wednesdays.
It
might be Thursdays too.
And
I could be
was
wrong.
a couple times where maybe it's 2 days a week. We'll take them one day a week, so we know that's scheduled. So, and those tend to be well attended camp days. Obviously, your field trip days are well attended, and so Melinda and Savannah will. I've already prepared for that, and knowing that we're going to have enough staff to cover those days. Right.
And I go back to, I know your vision for the Y is just to be, a resource for the community, and it's not about the money you bring in. Obviously that's important, but to be a resource is the bigger priority. Right. Yeah, sure.
And we've also got the, I don't want to forget the pre-K camp that Tara Oxier is putting on. And we've been so blessed and lucky to have her hand in that. I mean, she's a preschool teacher here in town, and she does an awesome job. And that pre-K camp is 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And it goes from 8 a.m. to 12:30. Again, just like our summer camp, you can sign up when you want. You only get charged for the days that you send your child.
Let's visit on the Monticello Y Zone summer program a little bit. Is it pretty similar to the Clinton Camp Osage program?
Yes, it's very similar in the activities. And Caitlin and Josie were there. I mean, this is, I think, their 6th or 7th year that they've done it. And they've gotten to where they got a really good groove, and they know what tends to work. And they've got some really neat field trips planned. I know one new one this year is going over to Savoy to I think it's a roller rink or skating rink. So that's something that's new for them. And then they do a lot of things at the Monticello summer pool, the public pool there. They do a lot of activities outside. Of course, they have a little bit different setup because they basically have a third of the old Lincoln School over there. They got the gym and the stage. And so there's a lot of activities that Caitlin does, indoors for a little bit and then outdoors. They've got the green space out there too. And so they just do a great job, and it's a great benefit to the community and their need for childcare as well.
And you said that program is well attended in the summer too. So man, that's great. That's great. Remind us, how'd you get connected to doing programming in Monticello?
Well, all Ys have a kind of a jurisdiction of where they can do programming. And Monticello is one of those that is in our jurisdiction. And so we had saw that there was a need for childcare programming in that community. And so that's something that we kind of were able to reach out and say, hey, we would be willing. And it took us some time to build it to where it's at now. I remember Caitlin, who's runs our Y Zone and our camp. She's been there since day one. I mean, she was one of the first ones that I interviewed. And so it's neat to see how she's grown in her capacity and to lead that program. And it's been a great benefit to our entire organization.
Gotcha. Y Zone in Clinton, or Y Zone in Monticello, Camp Osage in Clinton. How do folks sign up? How do they learn more? By the way, for Monticello, does the sign up work? Do those folks have to come here? Is there a location in Monticello they can drive to? Like, how does that work for those folks?
Yeah, I believe that on the internet, on our website, everything that you need to know for camp there, and it's split up Monticello or Clinton.
Okay.
If you need pre-K, Monticello does a junior high specific camp too, so there's a little bit more information with that. A lot of the same things. It's just geared towards that older group.
I see.
And so if you go on our website and pull up those forms, you can print them off, fill them out. You can mail them. The $25 registration fee. You can drop those off at Lincoln School when Y Zone is there, so Caitlin can get those. And then when I go to Monticello, I just pick up that information. We get it put in the computer. And so, yeah, it's pretty, we want to make it as easy as possible on those parents.
And your website is?
Go to www.clintoncommymca.org, and everything you need to know should be in our menus.
Sounds good. That is Rennie Cluver, Executive Director of the Clinton YMCA, in studio with us. More to come with Rennie on the morning show.
WHOW.
July corn down 1/4, 443 1/4. September corn up 1 1/4, 422 3/4. December new crop 436 1/4, up 3/4. July beans 10.47 down 3. August beans down 2 1/4, 10.44. November new crop 10.33 3/4, down 1 3/4. July wheat 5.29 3/4, up 4 3/4. September wheat up 4 1/2, 5.43 1/2. July bean meal 291.70, down 20 cents. July bean oil down a dime, 48.83. Livestock trade, May feeders 297 even, up 15 cents. June lot cattle up 77 cents, 213 even. June lean hogs 99.60, down 72 cents. Energy market, June crude oil 62.53, up 4 cents. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
Shane here from Highway 51 Exchange, just south of Clinton. Let us service your lawn and garden equipment for spring with our quick turnaround and service specials for free pickup and delivery. Click our icon on DeWittDailyNews.com for details.
Longview Community Bank provides real local ag lending. Vice President and Loan Officer Nate Sams here, asking you to find out the many ag lending products we can offer your farm by clicking our ad on the local news page of DeWittDailyNews.com.
In addition to great radio marketing, the Miller Media Group now offers a full suite of digital marketing solutions. Our affordable programs include custom web design and SEO to help you get found on Google. Seeking more inbound web and store traffic? Our Facebook, YouTube, and geo-targeted marketing programs are all designed to make your cash register ring. To get started, call your Miller Media account manager or go to mmgdigitalnow.com. Miller Media Digital, where digital becomes local.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Rennie Cluver, Executive Director of the Clinton Y, in studio with us. And Rennie, I know you're excited about your annual golf outing. That is always really well attended. Great participation. Folks really look forward to it. The when, the where on the golf outing, is it sold out? What's the status?
That is I don't think it's sold out. You know, we're really limited to 18 teams. We have a lot of teams that I know have said that they're going to do it again this year. It is usually the first Friday in June, and we moved it to June 13th because of a conflict of another event at the country club. The Clinton Country Club is where we're hosting that again, and we're excited for it. It gets so great a feedback from our local businesses, willingness to sponsor the event and help us with the cost of food, help us with the cost of renting carts, and just the overall cost. It takes a lot of time, and it's a big expense. And so for us to put this much time into it, it is going to be a benefit to the Y, and it's without those sponsors, we wouldn't be able to do it.
Sure. Of course, so call the Y to maybe check on if there's still teams and spots available.
If you're interested in putting a team together, please reach out to the Y. Contact me directly or any board member that we have that has information on it. A team, you put a team of 4 together, it's $500 a team. There's if you're not able to golf, but your business wants to help sponsor a tee box, that's $100. We make a tee box sponsor with your logo on it. We've got some really neat different sponsorship ideas or not ideas, we're actually putting them in, but most of those are already taken up. I think there's 3 left where if you were a banner donor, which is $1,000, you could get a special flag, Strong Kids golf flag, that's going to be on 9 of the holes, because there's 9 holes.
Oh, cool.
And then at the end of the outing, you get to take that back with you and put it in your office or at the business. So,
oh, cool. Nice. Before we jump into the Strong Kids aspect of the golf outing, what is the golf outing like? Like what do you get with that $500 besides 18 holes and all those things?
Yeah. So it's a lot like any other golf outing that if you've been in them, that provides you with a lunch, your golf cart rental. There's a sleeve of balls that this year is donated. The sponsor is DeWitt Savings Bank. So their logo is on that golf ball. There's some other nice things you can pick up at registration, but that's a 9 a.m. shotgun start. So registration opens up at 8 a.m. So usually try to be done by 2:00 in the afternoon. I mean, 9-hole course with 18 teams. It
gets a little crowded.
So it's really nice. And we've been blessed to have some really great weather over the years. So we just really hope that that's the case again this year.
Gotcha. Well, you mentioned that Strong Kids flag that your sponsors get to take home with them. I know, and I didn't realize this, Rennie, but the golf outing used to be the kickoff for the Strong Kids event. Let's speak to that a little bit.
Yeah. And the golf outing has always been a Strong Kids event. It's not something that we really marketed that much. And part of that reason was because our Strong Kids campaign was moved to September after COVID, just because of how it fell and how we were closed for the months that we typically would do Strong Kids. And so now we're really targeting the golf outing to be our kickoff and trying to get back to where our Strong Kids campaign is starting. The board members will be getting all their information this week, actually. And so it'll run, obviously we never turn down donations, but we're trying to get everything wrapped up before the end of summer, the first part of August and September. Whereas we had been starting the campaign in September. It's just from the campaign strategies and events that we've got, it's best if we can and move it back to where we use the golf outing as our kickoff.
Gotcha. Well, and let's remind Strong Kids, what is Strong Kids? What is that campaign all about?
Well, to really put it in a quick summary, the Y hands out just in 2024, we gave out over $130,000 in scholarship money for kids to be in programs that normally couldn't afford it, or memberships. And so our Strong Kids campaign has a goal of 100,000 to help us with those scholarships we give out, because that's what makes us a non-for-profit. That's the whole mission, the big mission of the Y. We don't want finances to be a reason why you can't afford to be in a YMCA program, whether it's for a youth or a senior or a single parent mom. We want to have those open door scholarships to help provide that. And so that's what the campaign is there for.
Yeah. Well, to tie that into, and I know you just touched on it, but to tie that into Camp Osage in the first segment, if there's families out there struggling and they need some assistance to send their kids to Camp Osage, sounds like this is a good opportunity. Strong Kids is there, and that opportunity for them to find that assistance.
Yes. And that goes with this, the same thing with even Y Zone program. And that's, I don't know if a lot of people understand that that's what the whole main focus of the Y is to provide health and wellness opportunities to people regardless of finances.
Well, for more information on Camp Osage, Y Zone Summer Camp in Monticello, Strong Kids campaign, golf outing, where do they go, Rennie, one more time for all that?
I think the easiest thing is to jump on our website at www.clintoncommymca.org and navigate. Everything should be there for you. And if you can't find something, give us a call. We've got staff that'll help you.
Tony, sorry, I did that again. Rennie, good to see you as always, my friend. Thanks for coming out this morning. Rennie Cluver, Executive Director of the Clinton YMCA. Network News on the way.
WHOW.